Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 270. Today I read you the little golden biography book on Willie Nelson. So let's read it down, shall we? So we got for us. Little golden biography book on Willie Nelson, and it's written by Gob Smith, illustrated by Jeffrey Elbzer. So this is it, folks. It's released yesterday. Copyright text and cover art copyright 2023, and are reserved, published by Golden Book New York release. Seen here is Willie Nelson in the book. Seen here, but that's just me, of course. Anyway, Willie Hugh Nelson was born April 29th, 1933, in the small town of Abbott, Texas. It was a Great Depression at times that were hard. Wow, okay. Though his parents loved their children very much, they thought Willie and his older sister, Bobby, should live with their grandparents. Red Willie loved growing up in a small town. He worked on a family farm, played football, and went in the movies almost every Saturday. Excuse me, okay, wait. It was dark for me to tape Bedtime Stories episodes. But anyway, he especially loved films with singing cowboys, such as Roy Rogers and Gene Autry. And, yeah. It makes more sense in any way, so it makes more difference to make more sense to anybody. So, there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, Willie's grandparents encouraged Willie and Bobby to play instruments and sing in church, okay? The first song Willie learned was Amazing Grace. Wow. The family radio brought even more music into their homes, okay? Willie enjoyed country and western singers, but he listened to his big bands. Corners and jazz as well. Willie also heard different kinds of music around Abbott. His neighbors from Mexico sang folk songs in Spanish, which I'm not a Spanish person, sorry. The townspeople from Sesh play polkas in their parties, wow. And when Willie worked in the fields, he heard African Americans singing blues songs. AC/DC everybody, but yeah, this is more different heavy metal stuff, hard rocks and blues rocks. For me, of course, it'd be hard rock and grand metal and everything else for me to listen to. So there you go on that, Willie. Next page. Anyway, come on. Anyway, when Willie was 5 years old, he started making up poems. 1 year later, his grandfather gave him his first guitar and taught him some chords. Suddenly, Willie's poems became songs. Willie's played guitar and sang his first in the first band when he was only 10 years old. It wasn't long before he traveled with bands all around Texas, playing in church halls and cowboy hangouts called honky tonks. See? It all makes sense now in any way, even though he's a country star in every way. So, there you go on that. So, there you go, Willie Nelson, if you're watching this. So, there you go. Next page. Anyway. After high school, Willie joined the Air Force, but he had to leave because of problems with his back. Wow. Over the next several years, he moved around a lot and tried many jobs. He was a disc jockey. He sold vacuum cleaners to door. He even repaired saddles. But Willie never stopped playing music. Deep down, he really wanted to be a country star. If you want just that butt, it's for you, but otherwise, he really is a country star to you, Dad Butt, for you country fans out there. That will be it for you guys out there. For many country fans unlike me, fortunately. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, Wall moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 1960. That was when the center of this country music industry. He met many other musicians there and made good friends. It didn't take long for people to recognize Willie's talent. He wrote songs for other singers to perform. Paisley Cline sang his song Crazy, and it became one of the most popular songs of all time. Wow. It's a Grand Ole Opry. And yes, those of you who don't know, the Grand Ole Opry, I've never been there before. But then, meanwhile, it was just some... well, I was a huge fan of Barney. In 1995, Barney was in the Grand Ole Opry. So, there you go on that. It was there when I was born when the Grand Ole Opry showed up in the... to Barney and BJ and Baby Bop. So, there you go on that. It was in Nashville. I've been to Nashville once. That was it. So, there you go. Next page. Anyway, one night in 1969, the same year Sesame Street came out, someone accidentally stepped in Willie's guitar. Wow. Wow. Willie bought a new one and named it Trigger, after a famous horse from the country's cowboy movies, okay? He loved it as a child, okay? Well, Willie has played that guitar ever since. It was now scratched and battered, but it still makes sweet sounds. Friends and other musicians have signed their names on it. Wow. Wow. Even with the success, Willie wasn't completely happy in Nashville. Wow. The music business there wanted singers to sound look like a certain way. Willie wanted to do his songs in his own style. Once again, it was time to move on. Gee, I felt bad for Willie at this point. It was so sad to me at this point. Yeah. He never learned to play guitar, back in the old days. But nowadays, it was struggling him out. But nowadays, just look happier for him, of course. So there you go on that. If you're into your country, leave on me, but don't take my word for it. Next page. Anyway, in the early 70s, Willie returned to Texas, this time in Austin, the state capital. The city was filled with creative people, okay? The musicians there mixed rock and roll and jazz with countries, okay? Willie really liked the sound, okay? And Willie had begun to let his hair grow, like me, like in the early 2020s. So, sorry, I'm here at the package in my background. Anyway, sometimes he'd put it back in the ponytail, or tie it on the two braids. Okay, he wore old jeans and bandana, something fun to pronounce, and a t-shirt instead of the fancy suits the Nashville Stars wore. He wrote songs about the rough and tumble lives of cowboys and bandits and ranch hands, okay? His music was known of outlaw country, and people love it. Wow. Now, this all makes sense in any way. Some of that Zorro in the right-hand corner, seen here, was playing the electric guitar. Reminds me of Angus and Malcolm and Base DC and Queen Queen is by May. Now, all of this is all that makes sense. Queen by May, ACDC's Angus and Malcolm, and all these activities from Ace and the whole musician thing. So there you go, and the whole heavy metal style. It all makes sense to me. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, eventually, Willie formed a band called The Family. His sister Bobby joined and played piano. I misspoke this bit. Sorry. Anyway, it became more popular, and he even could have imagined. Wow. He played shows around the world and sold millions of records. Wow, okay. Excuse me. Okay. He performed on television, won lots of awards, and also starred in movies, okay? Then in 1980, Willie played in the White House for President Jimmy Carter, okay? He even sang a duet with First Lady Roseanne Carter. Wow. These two are still alive, the Carters, but they're good enough. He loved the recognition, but he wanted his fame and songs to help people. I have to agree. Both Jimmy and Roseanne Carter, now married for 37 years, getting close to be 78 in 76 years, getting close to be 77 in sometime around this year, I believe, was this combination of getting married. I'm not sure how long they're going to be lasting at the time, but for the Bushes, the majority H.W. Bush and Robert Bush died in 2018, were the happy long last 70+ year long marriage. Jimmy and Roseanne, however, still living that long, and they're the longest living married couple since 2018. Now living up to since this year. I'm not sure how long it takes, but we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna sure how long it takes, but leave it down in the comments if I'm wrong. Next page. Anyway, in the early 80s, many American farmers were experiencing hard times. Wow. They couldn't pay their bills, and some lost their land. Because he had grown up in the farm, Willie felt their pain. I felt worried for him at this point. In 1985, he arranged a giant concert called Farm Aid. Over 50 musicians performed. The money raised went to help the struggling farmers. But the problem was bigger than Willie had realized. One concert was not enough. So there had to be been Farm Aid shows almost every year since the very first one. In later years, Farm Aid also helped people who have affected by natural disasters, like Hurricane Katrina. Now, at that time frame, it happened in New Orleans. This had first now Farm Aid was the one last concert since Steven Adler was before he got fired from Guns N' Roses. This was one of those examples in this book. So there you go on that. It was Farm Aid. It was formed by this man. It was good enough. Next page. Anyway, when Willie goes to a concert, he likes to travel in the tour bus. That way we can see the countryside, okay? Sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, he has a number of buses over the years, but they have all been called Honeysuckle Rose, okay? Honeysuckle Rose, the fourth, ran in a special field made for corn. It was better from the environment and it helped the corn farmers. And I have to agree, this is a special bus you will ever see before you had to held and from country to rock to metal to everything else. It would be a great idea, throughout bands, just make more sense in any way. So there you go on that. Next page. Anyway, one with some of the books seen here. But anyway, Willie bought a large ranch in the hill country outside Austin. His ranch has allowed him to get back to nature, and it also enabled him to help animals. He was especially concerned about horses, so for years he has rescued old, hurt, and mistreated horses and let them run free in his own land. His property is called Luck Ranch. Willie likes to say, when you're here, you're in luck. Now, this is a horse we're talking about. It was a good asset to be talking about. So, how long is he going to live for that long? We don't know. This Willie Nelson guy should have been, nowadays he would have been 90 this year. So, we'll just see what happens. So, as he long that long, we'll just see. Last page in the book stating that, Willie has fans around the world. But it's not very different than the little boy who was admired to the St. Cowboys. He still loved to work on this farm and take care of his animals. Okay. He was still alive. Okay. Good enough. He enjoyed playing with songs with his son and daughters. Yeah. Most of all, he would always sing his first hit song on the road again. Willie likes traveling from town to town, making music from his friends. Now, that was the last page of the book. Where is all this biography stuff? So, there you go now with the whole book arrange. So that was Willie Nelson, Logo and Biography book. What do I think about this book? It was amazing. So far, this book was a success. That was Bedtime Stories episode number 270. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. Next one's gonna be let's just say 3 brand new episodes of Ripley's Beer or Not, and then we'll do like a brand new lunchtime episode. We'll just see what happens. Now, excuse me, I gotta get ready for bed and edit those projects, and we'll see what happens. Till next time, this is Jefferson Papa Baby. We can move this with Sue to visit out. See ya.